Welcome to the Cowboy Basketball Roundup with Oklahoma State head coach Mike Boynton. What is it about Saturday in Gallagher-Iba? That's three in a row that you have come from behind late. Of course, this one, as far as Oklahoma State fans are concerned, the king of them all, with an overtime Bedlam victory. And OU had the ball up 3, less than a minute to go. You find a way to get it to overtime and win. It's becoming a theme, a great theme.
Well, we'll take the wins. I'd rather have a little less drama at the end, for my health's sake. But I enjoyed to watch our guys compete the way they did. Got off to a really good start. Our guys were locked in and ready. Obviously, our crowd had a lot to do with it. We're celebrating to remember the 10. And all those things mattered into how our team played and responded. And so proud of the way we fought for 40 minutes, and then an extra 5 minutes is what it took to get the job done.
It was a sold-out Gallagher-Iba arena for the Bedlam game against Oklahoma. And it's interesting, we know and recognize what a home court advantage Gallagher-Iba is, but in the Ken Pomeroy analytics, he started breaking down home court advantage. Gallagher-Iba is number 4 in the country, ahead of some legendary places. And you've experienced that, these 3 conference home wins. I mean, there's been some role of fans, hasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it over the summer. I experienced it last year as an assistant coach. For a team that was 0-6 and finally got a road win at Tech, ironically, last year, to come home and play TCU in front of a good crowd. But when we played Arkansas that following Saturday at 1-6 in conference play or whatever it was, and the response that our fans gave us and really carried on the rest of the season was something that you could see that the fans are just eager to see the game played the right way, to see the university represented the right way, and our guys are starting to understand what that means and how it looks.
Stay with us. We take you through the week in Cowboy basketball. When we come back. The Cowboy Basketball Roundup with Mike Boynton is brought to you by Bud Light, proud friend of Oklahoma State Athletics, famous among friends. By the visitstillwater.org Shop, Dine, and Stay partners. Be sure to shop, dine, and stay in America's friendliest college town. By Mercy Health, your life is our life's work. And by OG&E, power at the speed of life. Welcome back. First up for the Cowboys during this Big 12 Conference week, a road trip to Waco, Texas to take on the Baylor Bears. And let's look at the highlights from the Farrell Center and quick turnaround. You played Saturday and then had to travel on Sunday, the first conference quick turnaround you've had this year.
It was our first Big Monday game against a really good team who was struggling a little bit in league play, but no, they have the talent and coaching to have success, and they played well. We actually had a pretty good first half and just couldn't find a way to finish it. Thomas Zagwa gave us a big lift off the bench in the first half of that game.
He had 8 points off the bench in the first half, and meanwhile, Cam McGriff, a career-high 16 points as you're making a run here. Fell behind by 10, but got back into it.
Yeah, Cam McGriff was a big spark for us as well off the bench. It brought us great energy. Did a really good job on the glass, which is something you have to do against Baylor. And a lot of our offense in the first half came in transition, which is where we're our best right now.
And I guess against the pesky Baylor zone, that's probably the best case scenario anyway, right?
Absolutely. Got great length across the front line especially. But even so, you got to be able to attack when they get it set. We didn't do that enough, and that gave us some trouble. But we did a really good job, especially early, of getting out in transition and scoring before their defense was set.
So after falling behind early, the Cowboys are able to battle back and get the lead. And here's DeZagua inside the arc knocking that down off the dribble. He's worked on that, hasn't he?
He has. It's something that he's got to continue to develop as he gets better and gets stronger and understand how people are going to try to take away his three-point ability. But he certainly gave us a lift off the bench, and we need him to continue to be a good shooter for us.
So there's some work against the zone. You saw the ball going inside and then back out.
That's right.
And, boy, some good defense here by Yanku Basima. He had 3 blocks in the game and a career-high 10 rebounds.
Yeah, it showed us his value defensively, his ability to protect the basket, to make it hard for people to score inside, and also to clean up the glass. He had 10 rebounds, which is always going to be a benefit for us.
Cowboys out-rebounded Baylor in the first half. Lindy Waters with the jumper here. This was tight early in the second half.
Yeah, it was. And we did a pretty good job even to start the second half of attacking them and getting to the paint and getting some shots inside the arc. We just didn't sustain it enough. We started to settle for way too many threes.
McGriff knocks that jumper down, but here comes the Baylor run. They made 4 straight threes over about 2.5 minutes. Jake Lindsey knocking that one down, and then Manu Lecomte, who'd been struggling, found his stroke in the second half.
Yeah, as you see, the amount of open looks he got, ones where there weren't any duress, where he didn't really have to work for them, were really the detriment to us because he got himself going, and when you start to have to pay attention to him, he's also the type of kid that can get his teammates going.
And the bad thing is, next thing you know, you look up, and in 2.5 minutes, you've gone from a 1 or a 2-point game to being down 12. And Lecomte, as we mentioned, hit 25 of his 30 in the second half.
Yeah, inexcusable. Our staff's got to continue to help our guys understand how to turn the faucet off, is how we put it. When a guy gets going, we got to have somebody step up and want to take on that challenge. But once he got it going, he felt really good, and Scott Drew kept going to him.
So how do you turn that faucet off?
Well, you just got to make it hard for him to catch it. You got to make it challenging for him to get open looks. You got to put some different looks at him, maybe run a double team at him every now and then. Maybe just not let him catch the ball when he's coming off some of those screens, which is not something we did very well.
And I guess that's probably a remedy for some of the problems you've had with some guards in conference play. You've had some opposing guards have some big performances. Kind of the same thought process as you move forward, making sure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, we'll make adjustments from game to game based off the other team's personnel, and everybody's got a really good guard in this league somewhere. So we've got to have guys that want to take on that challenge, want to sit down and guard, and want to lead us on the defensive end. You know, we get a lot of talk about our offensive ability, but we got to have guys with a defensive mindset if we're going to contend against some of these talented teams. Okay, we're going to take a break. You should probably take one too. Next up, great highlights of Oklahoma State's wild win in Bedlam over Oklahoma. We'll take a timeout, come back with those in a moment. We're back on the Cowboy Basketball Roundup. Next up, early Saturday afternoon, can't beat it. Bedlam, can't beat it. Sold out Gallagher-Iba Arena, can't beat it. Let's not wait. Let's go to the highlights. Cowboys and the Sooners, there's a little time lapse for you. It was full. It was awesome. First sellout of the year. Certainly hope it's the start of a really good trend, and our fans understand how much they mean to the success of this team. I'll tell you what a good trend was, the start of the game defensively. Yeah. We were locked in. Our guys were really focused on the game plan. We wanted to make it really difficult for them to get open threes, which we limited for the most part, except for Trey getting going in the second half. Tavares Shine knocking down the three-pointer there, off to a great start, and Yankuba Sima made another major contribution in this game. Yeah, we tried to make a really conscious effort of getting the ball in the paint. He's a guy who can score in there. He's shown that ability. Also driving the ball, posting up Jeff Carroll some, and then we did a really good job in the first half, especially on the rebounding. Yeah, and you see another turnover by Oklahoma. With about 10 minutes left in the half, they had 6 points and 5 turnovers. Team averaging 92 a game. And on the other end, you talked about the layups. 8 of your first 12 baskets were layups and dunks. Yeah, defensively, and people talk about our struggles, we actually held one of the best teams in the country scoring-wise. We stopped them on 9 consecutive possessions at one point in the first half, which shows the ability that we have when we're really focused on it. Yeah, Oklahoma, there you see it. They had 6 points midway through the first half. They went basically 7 minutes without scoring. On the other end, Kendall Smith gets to the rim as you get out in transition. Boy, what a big day for Smith. We'll see a lot more from him later. Absolutely. And it's, again, when we're at our best, we're getting stops and we're running. We're not selling it for three-point shots in the half court, but we're getting after it from the defensive standpoint and causing easy baskets on the other end. Oklahoma went zone, changed the game a little bit, but eventually you were able to settle in and get some quality looks as Smith knocks that one down. Yeah, it's something we got to continue to grow in. We've got to understand we can still attack inside and play from there and make ourselves available for three-point shots later in the clock. That's at the end of the half, so Smith is fouled, but the Cowboys were not in the bonus. So what happened here? Well, we ran a little wrinkled out, a different play than we have run. It was something we put in early in the week to try to get Kendall a shot up top, and it worked out perfectly in that situation. Certainly did. You see 41-30. Actually, it was 42-30. It was ruled a three-point basket. In the second half, Sooners trying to come back. Odoms gets to the rim, and it's tight for much of the second half. Yeah, we had a chance to extend our lead from 12 to 16 or 18, and we missed a couple really easy baskets to start it. And when you don't score on them, they can get out in transition, and that's what happened to start the half. They made a pretty good run because we weren't as efficient offensively as we had been before that. Jeff Carroll with a tough move to the rim as he gets to the basket. Gets the chance for the three-point play. He had a big day, had 23 points. Yeah, when we talk about Jeff Carroll being his most effective, you see him get to the glass, you see him get to the free throw line, and you see him attack the rim, not just settle for three-point shots. But even then, when he does that, his threes are usually even better. And here's Mitchell Solomon keeping that rebound alive so Lindy Waters can get a huge putback. Dirty work guy, Mitchell Solomon. He's our MVP, 5 offensive rebounds, obviously a huge hustle play late in the game, but he keeps a lot of plays alive for us. And Tavares Shine,
knocking down the three, but boy, a lot of credit to him, I'm sure, for his defensive effort.
Yeah, and he's not still 100%. You know, that wrist is still bothering him, but there's no way he wasn't going to try to compete as hard as he could to help our team have a chance to win in this game.
You know, it'd probably be easy just to give up on a play like that and let that shot go in. They didn't.
Yeah, we tell our guys on offense and defense, the only guy who can assume a make is the guy who shoots the basketball. And that was the play of the game right there, no question about it. Mitchell Solomon poking that ball free and then absolutely giving his entire body so our team can have a chance to get a layup and put ourselves in position to send this game in overtime.
The most unlikely of thieves.
Absolutely. In that situation, when you talk about that matchup, everybody's probably holding their breath to see what was going to happen. But I got great faith in Mitchell for making the right play at all times.
Okay, down 3, take us through it.
Yeah, we want to get Kendall on a run here. They did a pretty good job of denying him, but we did get behind him. I think they were trying to foul, didn't execute it very well. We got Kendall with a great look, and I'll take that shot 10 times out of 10.
And that's twice in 3 weeks that Smith has made a big shot to send a game of Stillwater to overtime.
One thing that goes unnoticed is Brandon Avery immediately gets engaged defensively in the backcourt, which doesn't give Trey a head of steam going on his offensive end. Here's Kendall again making a tough shot late on a pretty late contest, but B.A. got up and got ready to guard Trey there. We forced him to go side to side a couple dribbles before he was able to hoist the prayer there.
So headed to overtime.
Yep, get the ball, try to cause up some rotation there and get Sean for a great shot. But we wanted to try to continue to attack inside out. Did a pretty good job of putting ourselves in position there, forcing rotation and getting two seniors some really good looks from 3, and Shine and Carroll.
Shine had 16 points. We mentioned Jeff Carroll's big game. Oklahoma trying to come back, and there's Solomon getting a hand in there again on Trey Young.
Deflections. Activity with our hands leading to a steal gives us a 4-point cushion right there. We felt pretty good at this point.
So late, James missing. Carroll jerks away the rebound. He's at the foul line, but it's only 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1 here, and steps up, misses. So, you know, right now we got to get a stop. What we want our program to be about, pride on defense. But we knew who they were going to, and we wanted to try to make it as difficult on him as possible to get a catch with a head of steam going down the court, just like we did at the end of regulation.
So you basically double-teamed here, and look at Mitchell Solomon.
Absolutely. Just change his path. Don't let him get downhill, get a great contest, and at that point we got a chance to sneak away there with a 2-point victory and a great game, Big 12 basketball. Nothing like it in Gallagher-Iba Arena.
And a court storming.
Court storming. First in my head coaching tenure. You know, I really enjoy. I want our fans to embrace these moments, these opportunities to have success, to be a part of this program. And so those are memories that they'll have for the rest of their lives. My first conference game as a college basketball player was against the University of Florida. And we hit a shot at the buzzer, a guy who had not played a single minute in court storm. And I was at the bottom of the pile. It was pretty scary under there. But I've been a part of a few of them, and they're all pretty special.
Yeah, they sure are. Stay with us. More coming up on the Cowboy Basketball Roundup.
For the past 9 days, the Oklahoma State family and their legions of fans across America have grieved for 10 good men gone too soon. Tonight, this great arena becomes again what it was meant to be.
You know, Gallagher-Iba's seen some historic events, some incredible games, but I don't think there's ever been a more emotional game than the first game back after the tragedy when we lost the 10.
Welcome to Gallagher-Iba Arena. Tonight, remembering our fallen 10, will prove once again this is the rowdiest arena in the country.
Then Strong in the middle, shot Zion, right back to Baker to shoot again. And the Cowboys have the start they wanted. They're up by 5. And rushes in the crowd.
Never heard a game louder than that, but more importantly, it was just the emotion that was going through everybody's minds. You had, you know, happiness, sadness, fear. I mean, there was so many different emotions going on during that game that I think it just kind of all exploded at once.
I think everybody knew that our team was physically drained, emotionally drained, that they were going to need some help. So the crowd brought the rowdy just a little bit louder, and the band played a little bit louder. And everybody did their part and found a way to get this Cowboy team a win.
Oklahoma State got a break there. Crawford with a deflection. The steal. The drive. And the crowd in Gallagher-Iba on here. Looking. Throws an inbound score by Oklahoma State. It's over. The Cowboys have won it.
You know, the coaches needed to win, the players needed to win, but most importantly, the families of those 10 needed to win. And I think our crowd knew that and helped pull the team through.
And the Bedlam game was the game in which we remember the 10, and obviously an opportunity to honor those that lost their lives in that tragic accident.
Yeah, 17 years ago, I was a long way from Stillwater, Oklahoma, as a college freshman at the University of South Carolina. But everybody who was a part of this college basketball fraternity, so to speak, felt and heard about the unfortunate incident, and understanding now here in Stillwater what it means to so many people, something that we will always make sure we honor. We'll always make sure that those people feel a part of this program, that their families are always remembered, and our players understand how important it is to play the game the right way, because we play it in their honor every single day, not just on that day, but every single day we remember those 10 people who lost their lives and their families.
We'll be back to wrap things up after this. Back to wrap things up on the Cowboy Basketball Roundup, and next up, on the road at Arkansas in the Big 12 SEC Challenge. Yeah, great challenge, great opportunity for both leagues to have showcase games, you know, featuring basketball this time of year. Obviously, the ACC and Big Ten do theirs in November, but we think it's great for us to do it in the middle of conference play, because it gives you a focus on, you know, who's really playing their best between the leagues, and obviously a lot of bragging rights. And we hope that we have a great showing up there, excuse me. It's a really tough place to play, Bud Walton Arena is. I've been there as a player and a coach before, and I look forward to having a great atmosphere, great environment, and our guys will be ready for it. And a unique style, and really, I guess you stop and think about it, the way Arkansas plays, no one else in the conference that you play against in the Big 12 really plays like that, do they? Well, West Virginia plays a little bit. They're not as physical as West Virginia is. They're a little bit more, you know, athletic, but they do really get after you and try to force turnovers and get out in transition. They call it the fastest 40 minutes. We want to play fast, but I don't know if we want to play as fast as they want to, so we'll try to control the pace and make it more structured than they probably would like to. Of course, this happens, as you mentioned, in the middle of conference play, and there's certainly some benefits to it. Is there any challenge in jumping out of conference play in the middle of it? You've been playing teams that your players are familiar with. They know their personnel. They even know philosophically where they stand. Now you jump out and play a team that's not as familiar. Is there any special challenge to that or no? I don't think so. I mean, I think we just approach it as it's another great opportunity. They're obviously a really good team who's an NCAA tournament caliber team, so it's another opportunity to go on the road and play a team that can help you when Selection Sunday comes, because those road games really mean a lot. And so to play another quality opponent, no matter what the league is, it's great this time of year, because right now the focus is on us anyway, and we want to continue to get better as we veer on into February and March. For head coach Mike Boynton, I'm Dave Hunziker. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on the Cowboy Basketball Roundup with head coach Mike Boynton. The Cowboy Basketball Roundup with Mike Boynton is brought to you by Bud Light, proud friend of Oklahoma State Athletics, famous among friends. By the visitstillwater.org Shop, Dine, and Stay partners. Be sure to shop, dine, and stay in America's friendliest college town. By Mercy Health, your life is our life's work. And by OG&E, power at the speed of life.